Hello. Did y'all see my most recent post? Let me know. Hopefully you saw it. Let me fix this camera. One moment. One moment. One moment. Okay. All right. So let me just go straight to it so y'all can see it too. I don't know if y'all heard or saw it, but the week ended on an excellent note. And I know today is Thursday, but we in Friday mode around here. Let me get straight to it so y'all can see it firsthand. All right. So as you can see, our guy, Shadora Sanders, so there you go. Our guy, Shadora Sanders, did the wrist up in Cleveland today. I don't know, what provoked this. I'm assuming maybe he made a touchdown and he put his wrist up and now we good. Now we are good. We are good. We are good. Hey everybody. Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope y'all see the screen on the way in. I was over here listening to the song, perfect timing, because why our guy Shadora Sanders did his thing with the wrist up. So yay, back to his happy self, right? And we applaud him for holding it down, but we know the first time his teammates did the wrist up, he didn't do it, right? But I don't know what provoked this because OTAs was closed today. And here it is. Here it is. So I'm going to post it as a short later on YouTube. I have a video coming out at 10:45 because I think we'll be done here by 10:30. So stay tuned for that. If you didn't join us earlier, definitely stay tuned for the video. And if you did, I added some commentary to something we talked about earlier. It's less than 8 minutes long. I don't even think it's 10 minutes long. It said we will watching corporate hazing by the Browns. Yes, but yes and no. Yes and no. Pressure. Understand this. The pressure was being felt. Y'all know anytime the media is quiet, it's because they want stuff to die down. Because see, they don't work on the weekends. I guess that's for their skeleton crew. But they're going to knock off tomorrow. They get started about 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So by noon or 2 o'clock, these guys are done. So they like, we don't want to have to stir up nothing. I guess the NBA finals is happening. They probably want to focus on that. And pressure. Understand this. Pressure. Shadora balled out. And everybody saw it. And even though the media wasn't talking about it, sports media, social media, all day. And earlier I told y'all what was the topic of conversation. Our guy is not getting a fair chance in Cleveland. People were posting Philadelphia was interested and wanted to take him. So maybe that's a good place. So when I saw this, Bucky posted it on his page. I created a video and I posted it on Threads. I think I might have made it to Threads, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere, but I don't think I made it to I don't make it to TikTok. X. So y'all, I made this was perfect timing for real because we going into the weekend. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was gonna stand on the head. I had already dedicated the weekend. My schedule was gonna be nothing but videos, probably just video after video. And I had already dropped my first one, and it's already scheduled, so I'm gonna let it roll anyway. But they better let Shadora be him, because I was thinking to myself, these people about to start crying for mercy in a minute, because people were seeing, okay, you didn't let us see him. Why not? We know he will be good with 11 on 11s, right? So some people were saying, he's good because he's making 4-string receivers look good, right? But people don't want to see this continue against Shadora. And my healthy skepticism will still be there on Monday. Understand that. I just might not make as many videos as I was going to make. And one of them is already set to go and premiere at 10:45. And when y'all look at it, then you see the little images I put in it, you're gonna be like, damn, she's gonna go in. So I was already thinking to myself when I was making the video and putting it together and wait for it to load. I was like, these people gonna need to scream for mercy Because I told y'all, it ain't just me. I don't think y'all understand how many people, even in the buff world, have a problem with this. And yes, some are backing off and turning their attention to Colorado. And that's cool. That's cool because we still here. And there are a lot of channels. Like one channel was devoted to technology, was talking about it. People who don't even talk about sports was talking about it. It's just like with Travis Hunter after the OSU game. Remember I said that a day or two ago? I said, what happened after the OSU game with Travis? People who were into sports, into Colorado, or just had eyeballs that heard about this was on every social media platform. This was no different. This was no different. So yeah, we see him feeling comfortable enough to show us wrist up, right? Perfect timing. Why? Because he didn't feel comfortable at first. When Sean Junkins did it, he felt comfortable. And the other guy, I don't know who it is. I don't know who got cut today, but I told you I wanted to see who they were. But here we are. Here we are, because it was about to be a weekend. It was about to be a weekend. And I know I wasn't the only one. I know people were out here gearing up. They probably got videos in queue. They're going to still roll with it because you got to see what happened on Monday. And see, all they had to do, if they didn't want to make OTAs available, like the footage, I didn't get any footage. I didn't see any footage. I didn't get no notifications like I normally get. So I was just like, whatever, going down my, path that I already had planned. So what that means is he's comfortable enough to do it. Y'all saw how it went the first time. When the other guys did it, you saw how he looked, and then he still didn't do it. He wasn't comfortable. Because why? They weren't very welcoming. That's why. And he balled out yesterday, and you didn't see it. But something today, I saw it. And then there's another, I guess you could say I made a video. So there's another photo of he and Flacco just laughing and talking. And I posted, I love this duo. I absolutely love this duo, meaning Flacco and Shadora, as they laughing and talking. I was like, this the number one and number two right here. We can figure the order out later. And somebody posted on X when they saw this photo, you know what they said? Dylan and Kenny Pickett have no place here. They don't fit in no more because these two have bonded. And who did I tell y'all that? Oh, thank you, Amber. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I got a Cash App, y'all. Y'all been asking. It's in the bio. It's the same name as this channel. $ what she said sports with the S. So if y'all want to bless me, thank y'all so much. I've been working my butt off. Amber, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to take this channel to the next level. We are taking this channel to the next level. And who knows what that's going to look like. But when I tell you I was going to stand on these people's head this weekend, because that article that we talked about earlier, the one where I told y'all they hiding over on the old World Wide Web, the old www, where people don't go and putting out defamatory statements and stories. You know what I said? I said, this is not right. Right. Because nobody can hold them accountable. Because I told y'all they have chat rooms and stuff. This article was just it. I went all the way down to the bottom and I didn't see any place to leave comments. And see, that's not fair. It's not fair for you to tell lies and nobody can say anything. Because what do we do on social media? We have the option to debate. We have the option to challenge you. We have the option to talk and ask for proof. They knew exactly what they were doing. So the video is already in queue, coming out at 10:45. So thank you, Amber. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all show Amber some love. She supported the channel financially. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And if you check in the bio, absolutely, yes, absolutely. My new Cash App is in there. Oh my God, who is this? Elijah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are taking this channel to the next level. All I know is I was going to stand on these people's heads. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video so that I can let y'all see it. I just had to turn my monitor on to make sure that y'all can see it. So I didn't put the music to it because I was working on it. And I was like, I'm going to share it with this audience. So I absolutely love the duo of Flacco and Shadora laughing and talking. And when I saw perfect timing today, I said, you know what? we gonna be in Cleveland. We gonna be in Cleveland because now we see he's comfortable. Now we see, that what? We see they're making him comfortable. He wasn't comfortable before. So the same thing that happened with Travis is the same thing that happened with Shadora. And what did I tell y'all earlier today? I said, they're quiet. And I said, you know why? I said, because of us. And I was serious. And now you see. Now you see he's comfortable enough. He didn't even do it yesterday. And I saw a post that said Shadora Sanders was the only QB in Cleveland to not take first team reps. And I was like, see, that's just more ugliness. And then somebody said maybe because they finna trade everybody else. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let God deal with that one. Because I'm already on this track right here. And I was waiting for my video to load. They had to do the checks. They were like, no issues with it. So it comes out at 10:45. And I feel like I'm educating people because I know a lot of people don't go to the internet and type in www and look for sports. That's not what we do. We have apps. We have things pushed to us. We look at videos now. Every platform you're on, with the exception of Reddit, is videos. Whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it's where you can see people having conversations. And this person that put out this information about Shadora, he was attacking Coach Prime. I'll look at the date. That article came out June 3rd. I said, when was Coach Prime on Asante Samuel's podcast? June 2nd. So they chose to slither through the crevices to attack Coach Prime and to defame Shadora some more, to say the ugly things they said. And they have regular social media accounts, and they didn't put a link to it. They didn't discuss it. They wanted it to live and breathe there. Watch the video. Make sure you comment if you watch it. All right. So thank you, Elijah. Y'all show Elijah and Amber some love because they support the channel. Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. It says Shadora is loved wherever he goes. Yeah, but he was facing some very rude. He had a very rude beginning. A very rude beginning. Believe me, he did. So, I just want to say I'm happy to see this. The timing is perfect. Bucky knew what he was doing when he put it out because he also knows people are standing on these people's heads. I unsubscribed to one person. I had to go back and listen to their video. I was like, wait a minute, maybe he on the right side. And he was. So I resubscribed to his channel. I didn't care. If you gonna go ahead and sit there with the foolishness, that's a nice word for it. Believe me, that's a nice word for it. I'm not listening to that. I'm not going to even let you breathe negativity about Shadora because it's not right. It's not right. So I put together the chart that we've been talking about. We're going to take a look at it. I wanted to share with y'all. I wanted to share the video. It's a short. It'll drop after this one. Then there's a video coming out that's about 6 minutes based on what we were talking about earlier and whatnot. All right, so let me get back to sharing. Okay, so give me a second. All right, so who remembers this chart? All right, let's talk about this. All right. Oh, hold on one second. It's still moving. I'm trying to get it to stop moving. Hold on one second. All right, so we use this chart. As you can see, it says post-free agency and second mock draft. So this is what she said, post-free agency and second mock draft, okay? And hold on one second. Okay, so Elijah, it won't let me post multiple ones. That's what I was trying to do, post your gift. I appreciate it. This is the chart we created. It's the What She Said Sports, post-free agency moves, and second mock draft, which means over here in the blue where you see Jalen Milroe, you see Cam Ward, and Shadora Sanders over here to the left, this is where we put people in a mock draft, right? And as you can see, we have Russell Wilson at the top. So this tells you this was post-free agency. Now, Russell Wilson was a starter, right? He was a starter in where? Pittsburgh. And then they wanted who to go to Pittsburgh. We made this at the time that Shador was speculated to Pittsburgh. Okay. So if you do the math, with Russell back over here without Shador or with Shador, it don't matter. We pretty much counted the starters. So Russ was a starter pre-free agency. And you see they wanted Shador to move right in where Russ was. And they moved him up here to New York. But we didn't believe he was going to be the starter. We just put him here. This is when they were building. I don't even know if Winston had arrived in New York yet, or if Russ, it was like probably the same day. So all they did was move a black QB from, all they were trying to do is move a black QB from Pittsburgh up to New York, where they have never had a black QB. So I said, oh, they playing in Russ' face. So he really and truly is number, I think like number 15, and the other three get to like 19. So check this out. Let's start up here to the left. We have Caleb Williams. He was already there. He's still there. We had, it said Jordan Love, but really this Malik Willis. Jordan Love and Malik Willis are both black. What did I tell y'all about them stacking black QBs? So now they got two black QBs on the same team in Green Bay, unless Jordan Love has moved, and I don't know. Lamar Jackson, right? And then you have Deshaun Watson. Now, when draft talks first started, before we did this mock draft, because we actually have two, it's just the second one. Shador was actually going to go where? To Cleveland. And when we started talking about this, we quickly kind of realized that it was black quarterback for black quarterback, which means you're not making any gains. The only gains were going to come over here down at the bottom in the AFC South with Tennessee. And that was going to be one, right? That was going to be one. And if Milroe had gone to the Saints, that's two. But Shador's wouldn't count because he either taking Russ's spot in Pittsburgh or he's taking Deshaun Watson's spot right here in Cleveland. And you see he still landed in the same division. So whether it was the Steelers or the Browns, he's still in the same division, right? So had he gone to the Steelers, there would be 1, 2, 3 black quarterbacks out of 4. But that's with Deshaun coming back, which is a wild card because we really don't know. But the money issue makes me think he's not coming back. So even if he didn't go to the Steelers and he went to Cleveland, he's just replacing Deshaun. So he's still a black quarterback for a black quarterback. That's all it is. Musical chairs is like a swap, right? But when they push Rush out up here, everybody instantly noticed on social media, all the quarterbacks in this division are black. So what does that mean? Only one of them can come out of it to go to the Super Bowl. So they took all the best black quarterbacks and stacked them together in the same division. So that means instead of 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks with 1, 2, 3 coming from somewhere else, say over here in the NFC West, right? They all coming out the NFC East. So see, this is premeditated. Understand this. That's why I'm telling y'all what it is about Shador. So people are saying Shador should go to Jacksonville, right? I don't even know where Jacksonville is. They have Trevor Lawrence. So that's an obvious black quarterback going somewhere where they don't have one. Those are considered gains. Okay. So this was a conversation that was talked about. And around the same time, it came to light that people were saying before the combine, the NFL don't want quarterbacks like Shador. That's when the conversation was born, that this is about race, that they are moving these quarterbacks around is about making sure that when you turn on your TV every week, it's not 2 starting quarterbacks playing each other like we saw where? In the Super Bowl. It was actually pointed out that 9 decades ago, black QBs couldn't even be a quarterback, and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. How many times has that happened? Is it twice? The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles? Has that happened twice? And then Kansas City won one and Philadelphia won one? Let me know in the comments if I'm right. And then what happened before the Super Bowl? All of the AFC North or the AFC conference and the NFC conference. Remember the quarterbacks who were vying to get to the Super Bowl? It started with 4, then it pared down to 2. Well, remember, Lamar Jackson was on his way until somebody couldn't hold on to the ball mysteriously, and it knocked him out, and it let Josh Allen in. So instead of 4 black quarterbacks vying for the Super Bowl for the first time probably ever, Josh Allen. Now, y'all know what happened in Baltimore. That's why people said something's not right. It shows you the lengths that people will go through to prevent these black quarterbacks from presumably taking over. But understand this, and I've said it multiple times. This is the pond they're in. They're only this much, and they have still managed to rise to become the majority. So when they moved Russ to New York, I was like, I don't believe that they're about to finally get a black starting quarterback. The New York Giants were the absolute last team to have a black quarterback. And you see they fighting having a QB1. And what do you have to be the QB1? You have to play the majority of the season. They actually have Joe Gilliam listed in history, NFL history, as a damn backup. Why? Because they took it from him, snatched it from him, even though he won the starting position outright, and they gave it to Terry Bradshaw, and they never let him get it back. Just like Terrell Pryor. And the only way, and it seems like when the quarterbacks ask for a trade, Deshaun Watson, Terrell Pryor, something happened. If they became a wide receiver and they were a quarterback, they likely asked for a trade or wanted to move, and they said sure. And then suddenly they were met with, nobody needs a quarterback. So if you want to stay in the league, you're going to be a wide receiver. See, what these guys got to move off of is the dependency on the league. It needs to be take it or leave it. I want to be a quarterback or not. Now, Lamar Jackson did that. He stood firm, but he's still catching hell for it. And that should not be the case. Because if Trevor Lawrence wants to trade with a no-trade clause, he probably going to get it. You see what I'm saying? And if they wanted him to move with a no-trade clause, it's probably going to happen. But he's not going to suddenly be hit with 22 sexual assault cases when he and his teammates were all in on it. You see what I'm saying? So this chart right here showed you with the additional of the 3 guys, it would have been a total of 16, 17, 18. So CJ Stroud, come to find out, new information happened today. CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson are out. Now, I told y'all what was going down in Indianapolis. I told y'all they took 3 white quarterbacks from Minnesota and spread them out. They sent Sam Darnold to Seattle, where they clearly could have kept Geno Smith. Now, when you look at Seattle, can y'all see Seattle? You can't see it. It's down here at the bottom. He with the Raiders. Where was Seattle? Up here. So now, last year, it was Kyler Murray, and look at the 4th column in the NFC, the blue label to the right, all the way to the end. Kyler Murray and Geno Smith were together. Well, now he here by himself. And they have Jalen Milroe, and y'all know his comps because I said it earlier, right, as QB2. So somebody going to have to get hurt for Jalen to rise here because they think they have buried him at QB2. And so now he got Kyler Murray by himself. So that meant when you turn on the TV and you watch the NFC West last year, you likely saw Kyler Murray and Geno Smith playing San Francisco and the Rams. So they vacated that. That's essentially what they did. They pared it back down. And then over here, the NFC South, you got Bryce Young. Jalen Milroe didn't go to New Orleans. That's out. And Michael Penix Jr. So instead of 3, which means every time you look at the NFC South, who you going to see? So they vacated that with not taking Milroe. So now it's just 2. So we go from 2 to 1. We go from 3 to 2. Or that could have been Shadora, Milroe or Shadora. But if instead of 3, now it's 2. And then you move over here, they all black. And only one of them can make it out to vie for the Super Bowl. And then over here, Caleb Williams and Jordan Love or Malik Willis, because they stacked together. Malik Willis could have been right there in Minnesota. But see, they want J.J. McCarthy. So they took Daniel Jones and sent him behind Anthony Richardson. Breaking news, they think he out for the season with a shoulder injury. Breaking news, C.J. Stroud is out with a shoulder industry. But he was sacked excessively last year, so I'm not surprised. So 2 black quarterbacks could be gone, and they were already trying to get rid of Anthony Richardson anyway. So now Daniel Jones, who got $14 million to prove himself, has absolutely no choice. So you wanted it, there you go. You better do something with it. So the draft is over with now. So I don't know who they're going to put behind if Anthony Richardson is hurt and Daniel Jones is now the QB1. Where's Indianapolis over here? Yeah, they might be at the bottom. I don't know. When we find them, we're going to see what effect that has. So just like the AFC South, I'm on the red down at the bottom, 3rd column. C.J. Stroud, Jacksonville, that's Trevor. Cam Ward. And who is that? At the bottom, I don't know who that is. Oh, Anthony Richardson, that's the coach. Okay, so now we got Cam, right? So Cam, and to me, that's why Tennessee didn't want Cam, because they knew exactly what was happening. They know exactly where Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud are. And they're like, oh, no, that's too many. That's too many. Because, see, if you stack the elite QBs in the same conference, one of them going to make it out. So let's keep going, and then we're going to talk about who's coming out to play each other and what that looks like. All you got to do is look at where Josh Allen is. So with Cam Ward here and C.J. Stroud, if Anthony Richardson is out, that's now Daniel Jones. So really it's Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence. So it goes from 3 to 2, right? Then come over here to the AFC East. Did you notice anything? It looked just like the NFC West, don't it? Who we have? Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor on the same team. On the same team. When one of them could be with the Patriots, one of them could be in Miami with Tua. Now Tua is brown, so he kind of counts, but I don't count him because I know what I'm talking. I know what I'm doing in terms of just pointing out who the discrimination is against. Let's be honest. That's what we're talking about. So Justin Fields is by himself, unless Shadora leaves over here where Deshaun is and go to Miami. So now you can see why that's not happening. That is not happening. Because they know Tua got a few opportunities here, and that's it. They know that, which is why Quinn Ewers is there. See, when he was drafted last, I bet his people got a message. It's going to work out. Just trust me. See, they looking at the draft order, but he's actually going to Miami where another quarterback is probably on the way out. So it makes it easier for him to get to QB1. Then he just got this $1 million endorsement from out the blue. So I guess they was worried about his feelings. I like Quinn Ewers, but I don't see that happening for our guys. So then let's come over here to the AFC. What's that, North? Okay, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and it would have been Shadora Sanders. So it's not. So now Shadora Sanders is right here with Deshaun Watson. 2 more black quarterbacks again. So if Deshaun Watson don't start, it ain't no big deal unless Flacco start. Then Russ is gone, so that's vacated. Deshaun is hurt. Flacco might start, so now it's just 1. And Lamar Jackson. That's it. So they had their way. They had their way. See, we did this before the draft. So I knew, for the most part, what was going down. Now, let's talk about cross-conference, okay? If I have the best QBs stacked right here, when it's time for, I guess, the division championships, the best one come out. So if Kyler Murray, because I don't think Arizona's good and been good for a minute. And if they're not, then it's probably going to be Seattle or maybe Brock Purdy. Let's just say it's San Francisco. Out of here, the best team could be the Bucks. Now, see, that's Jacksonville. That's Carolina. Where's Jacksonville? That's the Saints. Where's Jacksonville? Is this Jacksonville? That's Jacksonville. Okay, no, that's Atlanta. I don't know where Jacksonville is. I guess I gotta find them. So out of here, right here, it's 3-1, right? So Carolina been bad for years, but they hoping that this is the season because they reloaded, right? And Bryce Young is supposed to start his last 3 games. If you don't know, he balled out after he was benched. And I told y'all the story about the same thing could happen to Shadora after he balled out yesterday, because 31 teams watched him balled out and say, they drafted him in the 5th round. And you see he out there today. And that's probably why. Because when they did this to Bryce Young and they benched him, they were getting phone calls and it was pressure. If you're not going to play him, one of us going to get him. It was going to be like a hostile takeover. If you know how that works in M&A. They was about to be taken over. They wasn't going to have no choice. They was going to go in there and it was going to get Bryce Young. I'm like, they're going to do the same thing for Shadora. But you see, he comfortable today. It's not a coincidence. So coming out of here, I don't know who it is, but 3-1, I'd say is one of them. Unless, well, the Saints suck, so they don't even have nobody. So now it's just 2 of them. I don't know. But do you see how many it is up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 16 teams. 10 out of 16. Odds are it's got to be one of them. Right? Isn't that what happened last time? Then when you come down here, it's 1, 2. Shadora don't count because they moved him. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 16. So it might be the Bills. You know what I mean? That's how you got to look at that, because it is 8. It's still, it's 8. So that's probably how it ended up like it did last year, because it really came down to the AFC North and the AFC East. And y'all see what happened. And you see it's like a clear shot for Josh Allen, because he don't really have no competition. But I saw Justin Fields practice. Josh Allen got competition. So let's see what they do. But outside of that, if Shadora don't go there, Miami not it. Who is that? The Patriots. Joe Milton was the number 2 behind Drake May. They moved him to Dallas behind developmental Dak. I don't know what the hell is going on there. Why he getting? I think it's an insult. I really think it's an insult for somebody to say you need training wheels after 9 years and $250 million. That's an insult. But they put Joe Milton over there because now you see the musical chairs, just like Deshaun and Shador, Justin Fields and Tyrod, the whole damn NFC, AFC East. That's what I'm saying. Jordan Love and Malik Willis, that's what they're doing, stacking, because they don't want to turn on the TV on Sundays or Monday Night Football and see what? Every single week. If you just take the Jordan Love, Malik Willis, take Malik Willis, and how many did I say was up here? 16 teams, right? 10 out of 16. So let's put Malik Willis on a different team. We don't even care which one. That's 11 out of 16. Let's take Milroe, right? Let's put him, that's 12 out of 16. Let's take Shador, and let's put him somewhere up top. That's 13 out of 16, which essentially almost guarantees that when the conference that's at the top, the NFC plays, guess who you going to see? That's what they don't want. That's why Shador is 17 out of 32. And down at the bottom, it ain't that far off. Because remember, Justin Fields on the same team with Tyrod Taylor. Let's spread him out from 8 to 9, right? And there's some more people around here. I can figure out how to move, but y'all see what I'm saying. You see how it goes. They know this. They make moves off of this. That's why Tennessee wanted to trade their pick, They knew they needed a quarterback. They wanted to hold on to Will Levis, even though they say he looks so defeated out there, because he know what's going on too. He just blocked. They're using him to block. There should be no competition between the guy that failed and the best, one of the best QBs in college. Just like Shadora should not be out here competing with Flacco, who has a record that his touchdowns and interceptions are roughly the same. Or Dylan Gabriel, that he can't even see over the people, and Shador was better than him in college. Even if you pushed him down to the 5th round to number 144, he's still better than all of them because he's not 5th round developmental talent. But that's what they're trying to judge him on. So they put him in positions like he's a 4th string QB, which he is not. And that is obvious. But I'm happy to see him comfortable today. I don't know how we got there. And since I don't know how we got there, my healthy skepticism is going to be here on Monday morning or tomorrow until I see how we got there. Now I saw him laughing and talking with Flacco. I was happy. I don't know if somebody said something to him or he just in a good mood because this shit is almost over. He can go home for a little bit. I don't know. But the point is he's comfortable. And that makes me pull back a little bit. And instead of me lighting him up this weekend, I'm going to go slow. So understand that. Understand they was finna get hit. I'm telling you, and I know that wasn't me and I wasn't collaborating, but I have seen how people are feeling in their commentary, in their thumbnails. So our guy is not getting a fair chance. People are not happy about it. And the longer this goes on, what I tell y'all was gonna happen? I was like, they're gonna feel the pressure eventually. Eventually, they're gonna pick up that damn phone if they keep fighting it and say, let me get him out of here. Now, if we hear Mary Cabot come out and talking about this or saying something negative, then we know they're going to eventually be crying for mercy because we're not going to let up. But at the same time, if we don't hear her say anything and she is no longer negative, something has transpired. Something has transpired. Something to benefit Shadora Sanders. And it's likely, what did I say earlier? The unexpected. And who knows what that is? But I know it's pressure. I know it's pressure. I know that because the fever pitch is just as loud when it was Travis after the OSU game. It's the same thing. People from everywhere are upset about it. And you can't escape that. So you might as well either stop fighting it or act like you not fighting it no more. And that's why my healthy skepticism remains. So I hope y'all got a chance to see this. This is what we have been talking about before. This is our first time coming back to it after the draft. So that's what it is. That's what it is. So let me check y'all's comments. Oh, wait a minute. I think I see we got a new member. Yay! Welcome to Friends of What She Said, Priscilla C. Yay! Future MLB mom. I know this is all good for you because when it comes to your son and when y'all get out there, now you go out there with a different POV. If you see some weird stuff, you ain't got to look for it because it's going to present itself. But you know exactly what direction to look and how to move, because a lot of people, we have relatives. If not, we just like these players. But there is some recourse. But where is it coming from? Us. And they feeling it. So thank y'all so much. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you, Amber. Hey, Juanita, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good food, welcome, welcome. Charlotte, thank you, welcome. Yep, back to his happy place, absolutely. Hey, what she said, hey, Gracie. Hey, Marlon, how you doing? We are watching Corporate Hazing. Yeah, who is that? Oh, Chanel all day. It said, oh, hate to beg, but hit the like button. Hit the like button for me, guys. 58 of us, 37 likes. Just take a minute, get the likes up for us. It's been a long week. It's been a busy week. So please show some love. Charlotte, thank you. What happens in my family chat? Hey, Crowley. Hey, Amber, thank you so much. Amber says she liked on the way in. And if you didn't get a chance to do it on the way in, just make sure you just take a moment, look at the like button, make sure it's depressed. Thank you. Hey, Tina, how you doing? Welcome back. Elijah, thank you so much. A lot of people are talking about Shador and his situation. Absolutely, absolutely. Marlon, yep. When your boy puts your wrist up, you roll it. That means it's time. That's it. I said, okay, we're going to be in Cleveland. That's exactly what I said. So people were asking earlier, why would I say he's likely to make the roster? Because they didn't think he was going to even make the team. And as you can see, the way they was treating him, it was very doubtful. But he balled out, and now they can't back off of it. And if they do, believe me, there's a team out there somewhere that's going to figure out how to get to Shadora. Because I remember exactly what happened to Bryce Young. They were going to do a hostile takeover if they had to from Carolina. So they can move in on each other. Maybe not in the draft. I don't know what the difference is. I've seen it before, and I know what I saw from Shadora, and so does everybody else. He's not a fifth-round developmental QB. And nobody wants to be asked, why did y'all draft him in the fifth round? Why did he go so late? Nobody wants to answer that question. Thank you, Elijah, so much. You are special and beautiful. Thank you so much, Elijah. Thank you. Shadora is loved everywhere he goes. Yes, but not always by everybody. Family, good evening. Good evening. It says, me anyway. Oh, okay. It says, it's his personality that makes him who he is, his friendly demeanor. Right. But see, they didn't want to take the time to get to know him. They just wanted to continue the collusion from the draft using the defamation from the draft. That's all that they wanted to do. And the reason why, after Coach Prime went on a Asante Samuel show, they could have went on their respective social media, modern social media platforms and said the things that they said, but they did not. They did not. And why? Because they know they will be talked down under the table. They know this. That's why they slinking around through the crevices of the World Wide Web where you can't easily get to that unless, you run across a link or if you know the address. And nobody's doing that. Everybody has apps. YouTube is an app. Who has an app that says Yahoo on their phone? Nobody. And maybe very few people. And none of them under the age of 60. Understand that. And Cam Newton and Chris Carter can kick rocks. Yeah, I agree with that. Did y'all hear Cam's response? Well, his video, it didn't get a lot of likes at one point about Travis getting married. And it's not about Travis. This is about Cam. See, I knew. And I was like, he didn't get a lot of likes because why? He was like, yeah, I met her. She cool. I talked to her a couple times. Look here, bro. Okay. We wish him nothing but the best. But we are not about to sit up here and act like we didn't see what we saw multiple times. And that's what he want to do. But why? Because his little brother plays on his team. Trav's little brother plays on his team. He know the family. He want to stay in good with Travis. And Cam likely knows what we have learned. If you come at him about her, he going to cut you off. And y'all wanted to know why he distanced himself a little bit? Because Coach Prime wanted him to sign a prenup and he didn't want to. And he didn't. So Cam was politicking, in my opinion. So Miss Pamela, yeah. I like Cam's commentary, but he know darn well he wasn't speaking the truth. He probably was saying something totally different off the camera. Somebody sent me a post saying it's a law firm after what happened with Travis offering free prenups. And they broke down the process. And they were like, this is a document you never see. This is a process, a prenup process that you never see and nobody ever knows about until you need it. And he just went out and said it. Nobody coming into that kind of wealth should go out here blind like that. And it's true. He said, we're willing to do it for free. You got to protect yourself. And honestly, he probably scared to protect himself because she was going to leave. People were like, she's $23 million richer now. I'm like, yeah, well, the good is, hopefully she done fell in love. That's all I can say. And she like, I don't want to leave this. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's the case, to be honest. It said, I remember the chart from before the draft. Yep. Before the draft. Yes, Gracie. It says, thank you, God. Please tell him, be who you created him. He shouldn't shrink for nobody. Right. And you know what's funny? When Jacksonville first welcomed Travis, if you go look at the hunt, it goes from the draft to him being at the draft, and then it goes to his first visit. They recorded that too. You see how transparent they don't mind being transparent and showing you the process and everything. And they basically told him, we don't want you to change nothing. We want you to be exactly who you are. So from the first time when his teammates did it, he wasn't comfortable. Today, he's comfortable. He's comfortable. My healthy skepticism will be right here on Monday. As it should be, because I know they felt that pressure. The AFC North is pretty tough. Okay. The AFC North. Who was that? Was that the who? I don't even know who that was. Oh, okay. Thank you. I mean, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Crowley said, yes, Shador may have had a rough beginning, but he had some strong praying aunties, yes, Lord, and fans that love him. Watch God continue to move in Shador's life. Right. Blessings to the Sanders family. Amen. I like that. I like that so much. Thank you. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. All right. It says, good evening, blessings. Okay. Good evening. It says, yes, the Eagles versus the Chiefs twice. Okay. So, Amber, it was twice. You see that happened twice, and then it was getting ready to be 4. That's why I was so strategic. I wouldn't even call it strategic and malicious. That's why what happened to Shador was so extreme. But honestly, Shador was just going where Deshaun Watson was. So to me, they could have just let him go, but they didn't want him going in the first round, period. Because maybe they was like, okay, yeah, even though Deshaun here, that tell you that they know Deshaun not coming back. Because why are you trying to block Shador from one of the worst teams out here who had 5 quarterbacks in 2023 and went 3-14 after getting close to the playoffs, the year before? Because they know he good. And now everybody saw it. See, we knew it. But see, now everybody saw it. Everybody. I do mean everybody. Everybody that was looking. Everybody saw it. So, that's what it is. It said, Priscilla says, they lowball Justin Fields with the Steelers so that they can go after Aaron Rodgers until they find their rookie. Right. And they got Will Howard, right? Who won the Natty. I think they got him. So I don't know if y'all know Aaron Rodgers signed with Pittsburgh today. Now, didn't I just say last week there were some allegations against him, against Danica Patrick, that were pretty damn serious when she said he leaves a trail of what? Right. Something you have 5 pints of in your body that you need to live. And he gets on the team. You see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about? And yes, there are allegations, but you got to look into it. You got to make sure that that's not the case. How do you just move forward like that? Because that's what you want to do. That's what you wanted to do before. Because what did I tell y'all the caption read? Mike Tomlin is advised to take Shadora Sanders, draft him, Shadora Sanders, and put him behind Aaron Rodgers. Even Pittsburgh fans were asking, why are they pushing Aaron Rodgers on us? Because people say it's to fire Mike Tomlin. Because he's 41, he wasn't good last year. He was not good. So they expected him not to be good again. They overlooking the allegations, and they're going to use it to fire Mike Tomlin. Because before Aaron Rodgers came and before the whole Shador thing, Justin Fields was still there, right? They were shocked that Justin Fields went to the Jets. But see, the Jets just got a new coach, the former defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, who's black. They already saying Justin Fields got to hurry up and prove himself. I said the hell he does. Because how long has Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones been? And if you think I was going in about Shador, oh, just know. Just know. Because they going to hear that. I'm like, oh, no, no, we're not doing that. We're not about to sit up here and say Justin Fields, a black quarterback's got 2 years to get it right. And Trevor Lawrence can loaf. And Justin, and what's his name? Daniel Jones can get another $14 million to prove himself after he already failed for years. We're not doing that, bro. And they better hope it ain't snowing or raining outside for days when they do, because I'm going to have another content marathon, and I've had them before. Because I was pretty damn close this weekend with Shador. I was like, I'm going to just go ahead on and stay home, make this content, because, these people got to feel this. Because we don't do it, there will be absolutely no accountability. The media's not going to do it at all. The player's not going to do it. And I thought about it. I said, because I said it's the reason why they all haven't sued. And I said, I don't know what it is. I thought maybe it was their retirement benefits. And then I clicked on something on my phone, and it said the name of a company that doesn't do sports, and it owns a company that does. And I remember what somebody told me. If you download the Disney app, and you agree to terms, you don't know it unless you read it. Even if you download the ESPN app or the Hulu app, any app with a company that Disney owns, you're going to see Disney. If you read the terms, it's basically saying if you go to a Disney park, you can't ever sue. You have to agree to arbitration. That is the same process that was used in the last collusion case. That's why the NFL is not scared of collusion. Because what? They did collude. And what was found out with the arbitrator that they probably had a hand in securing. Okay, yeah, we did it, but not enough to pay you damages. So it was like a nana and a boo-boo. That's what it was. Yeah, we did it, but what you gonna do? That's exactly what it was. So when you download their apps, any of their companies that they hold, and you have a problem, and you think you go sue, they gonna go right back to, remember that app you downloaded? It said you can't ever sue us. You have to agree to arbitration. That is why they haven't sued. I bet in all of their contracts that I told them, get a lawyer and read it for $250, because it don't take that long to read it, they probably would have found it. I bet it's in there. I bet it's in there. All the discrimination that these guys has faced, it's got to be. That's got to be what it is. You when you signed this contract and took this money, you agreed, you either waived your right to sue or you agreed to arbitration. And it must be the arbitration because that's what Russ, LJ, and Kyler Murray, who were part of that whole collusion case against veteran quarterbacks, and they all were black. They all were black. Some say CJ Stroud was in that and Deshaun Watson, but I find that hard to believe about Deshaun Watson because he got $240 million guaranteed. He the reason they were suing in the first place because they were like, you gave him that after he did this, so we gonna need it too. And I don't blame them. But it was only the black QBs. All right, so yes, they did lowball Justin Fields, but people were shocked when he got the hell out of Pittsburgh. He saw the writing on the wall. He knew Mike Tomlin's power was being stripped because in January, an article went out that said the Pittsburgh Steelers want to keep Aaron Rodgers. The next thing you know, they forced him right out of there, and Mike Tomlin could do nothing. And neither could the GM and the owner. And that tells you where all this comes from. Jacksonville is underneath Houston. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tap King. Thank you. Welcome back. What's happening? She says sports. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Isaiah, how you doing? How you doing? Watching the NBA finals. Okay, so that's probably where everybody wanted to go focus on. So they was like, we're not going to talk about this today because they're going to be talking about it. So we just going to be quiet. Because somebody else pointed it out. They said, show Liz crickets. Yes, I am a CU auntie, I guess. What has Cam and Chris done now? Who? Oh, yeah. Okay, hopefully you heard that. Y'all can fill in Gretchen if she wasn't here when we were talking about Cam. It said the CU aunties check Mary needs makeup care. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they stand on her head. Yep, for sure. It says, sis, any word on the NFL lawsuit? Nope, nothing yet. I think it's, like I say, they just waiting. They're just waiting for the judge to make a decision. That's it. I mean, and as you can see, while they're waiting, what is happening? Charles Woodson, because he was denied before. Are you still interested? And then what? A new affiliation. Inclusivity. After removing in racism for the end zone, because you didn't want to be inclusive in January or February 9th. Now you want to be inclusive. Okay. All while they wait for a judge to make a decision, which is what I said it was a few days ago, stalling. Now you're starting to see why they're stalling. Because they know if they kick it back, he's just going to appeal it. They already know that. So the legal strategy is to stall. Just go ahead on and stall and go ahead and do what you got to do to get yourself in position to show you're not what starts with an R. That's why Woodson, that's why the LGBTQ plus community. That's exactly why. That's exactly why. We fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. Oh, I totally agree with that one. It said Fields will be okay, though. He is going to ball out. He looks good in practice. He looks good in practice. Now, I don't know how it is. He got benched. I don't know if he got injured. I don't know what it was. But I know Russ should still be in Pittsburgh. I know that. Why would you move somebody that got you to the playoffs? The same reason why, what? Cleveland, 2023. They had 3 black quarterbacks rotating through 7 games who amassed a winning record through all of the instability and handed it over to who? Joe Flacco. So they're saying Flacco should start and Shadora should close. I'm like, you must think Shadora strong then if you think Shadora should close. The heaviest part of the journey is the front in 2023. So maybe they feel like, well, if we let Shador start and it's too tough, maybe he can't handle it. I don't know. So they thinking Flacco will start. I'm like, did y'all not see Flacco in 2023? The last time he played for y'all in that last game? Whoo. He it's not that he was bad. He took a hit. And he's 2 years older now. And I don't know how he didn't have whiplash after that. But he couldn't play in the most critical game. So, and it was a disaster. So yeah, Fields, I think, gonna ball out. So I'm definitely watching the Jets this year. You are absolutely right about the Disney clause. Yes, it is. Who said that? Priscilla. Thank you, Priscilla. See what I'm telling y'all? Y'all be careful when y'all download these apps because these companies are using the fact that you're not gonna read it because it's so long that they telling you if you come into one of my stores and you fall down, you can't sue me. You got to use arbitration. So basically, they can't make you waive your rights, but they can't force you to use arbitration, and they likely have a hand in who the arbitrator is. So there you go. It said that's with all businesses. I noticed it on credit cards, and I think it's with Apple too. Okay, see, I didn't know that, K Hayes. Thank you. Is that Coach Hayes? Oh, okay. K Hayes, somebody asking who you are. I am getting ready to order my See You Auntie t-shirt. Okay, Crowley. Okay. 74 of y'all in my sis house. Wipe your feet and hit the like button. Thank y'all so much for holding it down. Thank y'all so much. All right. It said the Witchman. It says, yeah, he definitely should have did a prenup. She can do whatever with whoever with his money. That's facts. With no consequences, because if she cheats, he catches her, what's he gonna do? Nothing. That's why we ain't talking about it, because it ain't a good situation. I mean, he essentially took his upper hand and just tossed it out the window. He's young, and then he's in a situation. And the more I hear about other stuff, like well, I don't know what they talking about, because my mama was living in a house with 5 kids, in a 3-bedroom house with 5 kids. And then I heard him in a Jacksonville article say they talked about his upbringing a little bit. And he talked about how tough it was. He said, yeah, it was really hard. Then I remember her saying she goes to all his NIL appointments to make sure he's okay. So something has happened, but he never needed that with the guys around. I don't know. That could just be her making him dependent on her. But the reason I don't talk about it, because he don't have a leg to stand on unless he get a post up, and she probably ain't gonna sign it now. I think he thought she was gonna leave. And that tells you how inexperienced he is in relationships, because if she want to leave, she gonna do that anyway. So you should always protect yourself. But that's because he didn't start out the gate early dating a lot of people to learn different personality types. He should have took a psychology class, at least one. Did you see Flacco running drills in practice today? Old man moves. I like Flacco. No, I didn't see it. I like Flacco. That is my 1 and 2. And I don't know how they're going to work it out. But honestly, seeing them two laughing and talking, that's who should be sharing lockers. And I know Jerry Jeudy is the wide receiver, but Shador is him. And, I really think that, of course he could be the starter, but will they let him? Just like I said in Tennessee, will they allow Cam Ward to be the heir to Steve McNair? And as good as he is, we don't hear about him. And they out here got him competing with Will Levis, who already failed. So that's why you have to look at it and side eye it, because they're not giving these guys fair opportunities. And honestly, neither one of them should be competing for anything. If Joe Flacco is currently sitting third on the Cleveland Browns depth chart, then Shador can start, right? And if it get to be too much, then what should you do? That's what you got to back up for. And it shouldn't be Kenny Pickett. It should be Flacco in the number 2 spot. And I don't even know if Kenny and Dylan Gabriel need to be on the roster, but they need people. So, okay. But that's not who I would have. I would have people that are viable. Because let's say something happens to the 1 and the 2, and it does happen. We lost an entire wide receiver core in one game. So it does happen. It happens. He's in love that it would be concerned about him going ballistic. That's what people are worried about. That's where people are now. Because see, the wedding's over. They realize he has no prenup. And people talked about it on different podcasts. They say, you know what? He gonna snap. Because they were saying the truck that they think the one she got is bulletproof. And they was like, yeah, it's gonna need to be bulletproof from him. Young people like that, and I told y'all about that frontal lobe, and he only 22. Is he 22? You got to be 25 before it's fully developed scientifically, give or take probably a few months developmentally, but he not even all the way there. So they say his mama gave out some advice. I didn't listen to it. I'm still done with the NIL ad she did with him. Yeah, that should have been his brother from the get-go. And that's how you know he wasn't mature enough to realize what he's getting himself into. He didn't realize that you giving everything away and you letting another person make decisions, but you're not looking at how they treat you. So that's why I'm like, I just be happy he happy. And honestly, you know what I'm happy about? In addition to the fact that his family is close by, could be for that reason, all the love he's getting. Because it's clearly his self-worth wasn't there. Something happened in his childhood. We talked about that. But look at all of this. Imagine you dreaming about getting to the NFL, right? And you doubting yourself to the point where you are emotionally attached to another person for self-worth, and it's wrapped up in another person. So if she ain't happy, you ain't happy. And then you get to the place that you always dreamed of, which is the NFL, and everybody love you. That changes people. It builds confidence. And then his family gonna be, he not isolated no more. Because he was isolated. See, he not isolated no more. Mama 2 hours away, the brother 2 hours away. You think that brother not gonna be there? Only if Travis like, no, and he hadn't gotten to the point where he realized that it's good to have them around. See, people see what you can't see. And that's why, to me, she never wanted other people around, because she didn't want nobody to convince Trav, hey, this ain't a good situation. That's why I got to be everywhere with you. She there now, it don't matter no more. So I'm happy the family close by. I'm happy he's talking a little bit. And I'm happy he's not isolated. And I'm happy the love and the respect that he gets, because that will build his confidence. It will. He going to have his own self-worth. He going to have his own preferences. He going to realize, and you know what people say, he going to meet a woman. I say, yep, he is. I said, the problem is he better not cheat, because it's going to cost him. And honestly, when you young and you immature and you're not experienced in love, if you feel trapped, so let's say he begins to develop, gets a sense of self, and he like, oh shit, I ain't got no prenup. If I leave, this is bad. Or let's say he's unhappy. Let's say she's intentionally trying to make it miserable. Maybe she's trying to get to the door, right? Maybe she's trying to exit, so she just, and is throwing him off. And then one of these reporters that he did an interview with multiple times, it's just like, you okay? And he like, yeah, it's just, he don't want to talk about it. And then you see her again, and she like, how's everything going, And then maybe some stuff is public. And then she like, I saw what happened. Are you okay? And then he like, well, I guess you know now, so I can tell you. She gonna say he cheated, because she already said he a cheater. That's why I don't really want to talk about it. It's not a good situation. It's not a good situation. That's why I be so happy for him, because I see the potential for him to grow. I see the potential for him to no longer be isolated, get around different people, because that's what needed to happen. He needed to meet other women. He needed to meet people so he could see she wasn't the only one that thought he was anything. Of course, she thought he was everything because she wanted what he had, but he don't have the experience to know that, but he was being stubborn. So it could still cost him anyway. He was choosing to be stubborn. It's not love when people are mistreating you. And it's not like that didn't happen. So he ran past everything. And it wasn't just red flags. He ran past Coach Prime too, just so he could keep her. And he's going to find out if the Tesla couldn't do it, then the Brabus not either. But mama and brother close by, so that's all I care about. That's it. And they love him in Jacksonville. They told him, we got you. We support you. I know he was like, huh? Stay tuned. He gonna need them people, I think. I don't think it's a coincidence. He's now getting surrounded by love. Sometimes the help that you need come before you knew you needed. What they say, God sent help before you need it. Because he was isolated in Colorado, and he definitely could have went off up there. So everything happened for a reason. Perfect timing, right? Jimmy Horn he's still out injured today, but Carolina has seen enough to keep him on the roster. I sure hope so, because the person that was in front of him had a question mark, or questionable. So I felt like Jimmy was gonna move the two. I just hope he's not out too long though. If I get some self-esteem, if he gets some self-esteem, he better get a divorce as well. You mean in annulment? Because I hope it happened fast. But I was reading about annulments, and it's like the marriage got to be a fraud. I'm like, it might be a potential for that. I was reading it. I was like, and it said the time don't matter. If it's fraud involved, like a romance scheme or something like that, yeah, you could get an annulment at any time. It don't matter how long it was or it's been since the wedding. If fraud can be proven, it nullifies it. And that would be good. That would be good. Hilarious. Me too. So, there we go. There we go. Travis is really one of the once-in-a-lifetime athletes, just like Prime. Yes, and they were talking about him in Jacksonville. This one coach, he said, I've been on this earth for 57 years, and I've seen all sorts of kind of athletes. He said, this guy is amazingly gifted athlete, just like Coach Prime. Just like Coach Prime. So who said that? Absolutely, Amber. Absolutely. I would be living my life in fear if I had to ride around in a bulletproof car with my wife. There is no kind of life for me. I don't know. In Atlanta, you might want one. But I get it though. I would have to not know it's bulletproof. I would. It said he's not maximizing his earning potential by showcasing. She isn't a fan favorite, right? And I think I don't see her, so I haven't seen her at Jacksonville. I saw a clip on TikTok, but I'm not on it all the time. Somebody sent it to me, and they said really, and it was her, but I didn't know when it was, and I was like, So, like I say, I don't look at that. He's so in love. So yeah. Well, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. We're 1 hour and 8 minutes in. This was wonderful. I have a video that just dropped probably 8 minutes ago. Check it out. Leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts, etc. We'll be back tomorrow. It's Friday, so we'll be back at 12:30. Maybe I'll find out what precipitated this, but I'm happy about it. And I hope it's nothing but good news, maybe a touchdown. And that's awesome. So we'll be back tomorrow for lunch's stream. I'll see y'all then. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. And for those of you that wanted to know, yes, I have a Cash App, $ What She Said Sports, and the logo matches the logo on the page, so you don't have to be concerned about sending money to the wrong person. And it is a business account, so you should be fine. All right, thank y'all so much. I'm gonna get out of here. Good night. Thank y'all. This was excellent conversation, and I feel like it's a good way to go into the weekend with Shadora being comfortable, and that's all we want. All right, y'all. Have a good night. They told me bust down my AP, perfect timing. But gets around my neck, I stay shining. Never had around my jewelry, change the climates. They bought that new Maybach, I stayed grinding. And he said something about, I haven't even reached my peak yet. I was like, there you go, Shadora. There you go. So, all right, y'all. Good night. Good night.